campus of Troy University, this is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Plus, today is the first official day of fall, and it was a cool, sunny day outside. Can we expect this weather to stick around? Sean?
Well, Mackenzie, it looks like the pattern is setting up for another pleasant day tomorrow, but we're monitoring a low-pressure system that could affect our weather later in the week. I'll have all the details coming up next in weather.
And now Sean Sporman joins us with a look at weather.
So, Sean, we got rid of that hot, sticky hurricane weather, and now we have cooler temperatures here in Troy.
Yes, it is the first day of fall, as Mackenzie mentioned earlier, and it really feels like it, and it has really for the past week or so, But it looks like we could have a little bit cooler weather even coming in later in the week. But the big question in everyone's mind is, will we see any rain? And I'll answer that coming up in weather. And we'll take a look outside right now across the campus of Troy University. You can see we have a few of those high clouds out there, but really it's pretty much a clear day across the area and really across the entire southeast, at least as far as Alabama is concerned. The temperature outside right now here in Troy is 85 degrees. We had a dew point of 61. That's because the humidity is only 45%. It's not very humid out there, and we have easterly breeze coming in at 8 miles an hour. So again, in the shade, it feels very nice today on this Monday evening. We did get up to 86 for a high today, but nowhere near 90. We had an early morning low of 64. The radiational cooling that we're seeing overnight is really allowing it to get cool in the evening and overnight. And, of course, there's been no rain reported at the Troy airport today. Let's take a look at some observations from around the state. 86 here in Tuscaloosa and sunny. You can see the northern part of the state is seeing a little less cloud cover, but it's really not overcast in any major parts of the state. You can see down here 82 in Mobile coming in at partly cloudy, and really all partly cloudy all across the southern half of the state of Alabama. And you can see there's no rain or precipitation or really any surface features to speak of in Alabama right now. It's pretty much a clear picture. You have to go toward the east to run into some rain if you want to. That's here in southern Georgia. If you really want some driving rain and thunderstorms, you have to travel down to Florida, central Florida. There's the remnants of a stationary front there are bringing some heavy rain. We'll take a look at that now. You can see some showers down here around Kissimmee and Palm Bay, as well as close to Titusville. We'll put that in motion now. And you can see these are very slow-moving storms. You can see here now Orlando getting rain for really the past hour. And these storms could produce up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half of rain in some spots down there in Florida. But again, here in Troy and Alabama, we don't expect much rainfall over the next 24 hours or so. And you can see that here. Again, most of the rain will be confined to Florida and southern Georgia, places like Valdosta. You can see about 1/10 of an inch of rain. As we take a look down here in Florida, the heaviest rain will be confined around that area that I showed you earlier on the radar picture. And there's a little disturbance here around the New Orleans area that could bring a shower there. But really, the picture looks dry for most of the southeastern United States. We anticipate that to continue over the next few days. Take a look at the predicted low temperatures for tonight. Again, with that radiational cooling come overnight, the sun, the heat of the day really is not trapped in and it escapes into the atmosphere. And that's allowing for some very cool, nice nights, especially in the evening and later evening hours. And you can see that we expect the low in Troy will be 61, 59 in Atlanta. And you can see it will be a high 50s to low 60s all across the area. Again, around that stationary front down in Florida, the air is a little bit warmer and more moist. And that's why we expect lows to only go down into the 70s down here in Florida. But all across the southeast, especially in the evening and overnight hours, it definitely feels like fall has begun. And we anticipate that this dry, pleasant weather will continue. Again, I mentioned low pressure system earlier, but that looks like it's going to stall out and not really change our weather for the next few days. We'll have that dry air coming in from the north. As it comes in from the north, that will help to keep things a little bit cooler. It will also help to keep things dry with an associated high-pressure system. So really tomorrow, for your Tuesday, again, most of the rain will be confined to Florida. It looks like we'll have another pleasant fall-like day here in Alabama and including the Troy area. And the day will get up to about 86 for a high for your high temperatures for tomorrow. Again, 81 here in Atlanta. So we don't expect any 90s here in the Alabama area. Even down here in Florida, that stationary front will make its way further and further south, keeping the 90s away pretty much from the entire southeast. And, of course, the further up the Appalachian chain you go, the cooler it gets. Take a look at high tomorrow in Raleigh-Durham, anticipated to only be 76 degrees. Now, you may be wondering why I'm showing you the radar picture from Puerto Rico, but that's because we're keeping an eye on a tropical system that could develop into Tropical Storm Kyle later on. We'll put this in motion now. You can see it's very disorganized, just large batches of rain and thunderstorms moving around here. Here's St. Thomas, again, some of the islands associated with Puerto Rico and around that area. But again, we'll be monitoring this as it could move toward the north. Again, the steering winds will push this low-pressure system toward the north, and it will be warm water, so we'll be watching that as it develops, although we do not anticipate that it will affect the Alabama area. Now, you may be thinking, of course, it's very warm in the Atlantic with hurricanes. You may not think of snow, and especially you may not think of snow Africa, but it has happened. Record low temperatures here in South Africa. Here's a picture of the snowfall that fell there. So definitely an amazing sight for the South Africans as they see some snowfall in their area, especially rare as spring is headed their way as fall approaches here in the northern hemisphere. Take a look for tonight. It will be partly cloudy and cool here in the Troy area. Not cold enough for snow, sadly, but we will have a low of 60. For tomorrow, it will be a little bit breezy, and I showed you that wind coming in from the north, but it will also be sunny with a high of 85. And now let's take a look out at the 4-day forecast. Again, a very pleasant picture is in store for the rest of the week. We'll have those temperatures continue to fall down for fall for Thursday and Friday with highs just barely making 80. So Jessica and McKenzie, it looks like really nice weather is in store for the rest of the week. It's one of those days when you pretty much want to stay outside, except, of course, to come in to watch TrojanVision.
Definitely, of course. You have to come in and watch some TrojanVision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure everyone is excited about that cool temperatures, but not ready for some snow, I'm sure. You might be ready for snow, but...
I always am, but that's just me.
Not sure about everybody, but thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Well, Dr. Stephen.